What's up, yard freakos? Thanks for joining me on this video. So today I've been getting a lot of questions about what pre-emergent I'm planning on using this season. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that and give you a few thoughts. So here's the deal. I'm still on the fence about using pre-emergents. And it's not that I don't think they work. I know that they work. It's just that when I started researching them, it kind of gave me pause, especially because, I use this yard for my kids to play in and stuff like that. And when I started reading about some of these chemicals, it just made me start thinking about, do I really want to use this just to prevent a few weeds coming up? Because what you see is, the thing with me is I wasn't really getting a lot of weeds last year. I was having a dandelion or two pop up, I was having some thistle pop up, but I was just going in and digging them out and carrying on with my life. And I did have some crabgrass problems last year, and I think the reason why I did is because, one, I scalped the yard at the beginning of the year, and then on top of that, I core aerated the crap out of it, and I think that's what brought the crabgrass seeds up. And so what did I do? I ended up buying some Ortho Weed Be Gone, and I sprayed that down, and sure enough, the crabgrass went away pretty easily. So my strategy for this year is I'm kind of banking on my grass being thick enough to keep the weed population down, but on top of that, I'm not going to core aerate in the spring. I'll core aerate in the fall when the grass will like it better and it's expanding its root system. So let me explain why these pre-emergents are giving me pause. So the first pre-emergent that a lot of people are probably going to be using is pendimethalin, and you can find pendimethalin basically in almost any weed or weed and feed product. So the reason I didn't want to use a pendimethalin pre-emergent is because when you Google it, you find a study by, I think it's Johns Hopkins University, and what they found is that when you're repeatedly exposed to pendimethalin, it increases the likelihood of you getting pancreatic cancer by 3 times the normal amount. And so when I saw that study and read it, I was like, holy shit, I don't want to expose my kids to that. Pancreatic cancer, you get that, you die. You're dead. No one survives pancreatic cancer. So, see, that's the thing with these spreadable pre-emergents. It just doesn't square with, I guess, my philosophy, especially when it comes to using chemicals, just because most of the time in your yard, if you have a problem, it's localized. It's not the entire yard. So I would rather use a chemical to just treat that one spot versus having to spread it all over the place indiscriminately. It's kind of the same reason why I use organic fertilizers, kind of with like Milorganite, for example, just because with organic fertilizers, you throw them out into the soil and they build the soil microbes and stuff like that up and work with your soil and your grass, as opposed to with synthetic fertilizers. You just throw literally just a chemical into the ground and the plant immediately sucks it up and metabolizes it. And I just don't think, that doesn't square with me. Now, am I saying for those of you who have been using weed and feed or are wanting to, are you going to get pancreatic cancer? No. Pancreatic cancer still is pretty rare, but like I said, it's just something I don't want to unnecessarily expose myself to, to increase the risk of something if I can help it. I also understand that for some of you, you're going to have to use some sort of pre-emergent just to keep your weed populations down until you can really thicken up your lawn and so it can outcompete the weeds. I completely get that. When I'm thinking about that, I guess prodiamine is a good one, like what the Lawn Care Nut recommends. I'm also seeing a Bayer product here that I'm kind of finding interesting. And see, the thing is, this Bayer product looks like they're just using post-emergence with the 2,4-D and the dicamba and the quinclorac to basically just kill the weed once it sprouts instead of keeping it from sprouting to begin with. Okay, with all that said, if you guys were planning on using a pre-emergent, go for it, by all means. I'm just making this video to give you some information that you can use to make an informed decision. I'm going to bake on my grass being thick enough to outcompete the weeds, and the few that get through I can handpick. If it ends up coming and biting me in the ass, I'll make a video of it, and then you guys can come and make fun of me in the comments section. With that said, you guys have a good one and take it easy. Hey, thanks for coming and watching this video. Definitely appreciate it. Feel free to comment. The interactions will definitely make me want to make more of them for you. So thanks for coming again.